Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Please check out my website tinaslade.org and you'll be able to see the wonderful work that I am so privileged to do for my clients. And in one of my channels, I was asked if I would give some advice and some help around being enough, or in fact not being enough, not being good enough, not being pretty enough, not being intelligent enough, not being the cleverest sister and child or brother, all those things of not being that we sit in and cause us to have such low frequencies. And they're tough ones. They're really tough because who hasn't thought to themselves, I'm not good enough, or I'm not pretty enough? And it causes us to stay in this perpetual cycle of lack. And one of the things I'd like to explain to you is that when we choose to incarnate into this lifetime, we choose to do it for many reasons. And one of the reasons is that we choose to experience events so that we can understand the duality of that event. So for instance, say we chose to come down to learn about our sovereign power, to find our inner strength, to find our inner voice. In order to learn that, we will choose to create contracts with people who will allow us to experience that emotion. So through those experiences, we build a program of reality that sits within a third dimensional space. And when we play in our program, and when we are experiencing that which we have come to learn, we form our belief system. And our belief system is all of those little programs that play around unconsciously, subconsciously within this holographic body of maybe, not being slim enough, not being worthy enough, not being funny enough. All the nots, I am not. And I'm sure if I asked you to write 10 down, you would go, yeah, I'm not this, I'm not that. And you would give me 10 straight away. And in fact, I'm going to challenge you to do that. Give me 10 things about yourself that you are not enough of. And then when you've got them down on one side of the piece of paper, I want you to do the complete opposite, because remember, we're always learning about duality and polarity. I want you to do 10 things which you are amazing at. 10 things that you are amazing at. And I will guarantee you will sit there, you might get one or two, and you will sit there struggling to fill the whole 10 up. And yet you know so quickly what the 10 things that you aren't. You've had those drilled into you, they're almost chiseled into your body, because you then believe the experience of the events that you have chosen in order to feel that. And it might well be in many past lives that you have chosen lives of servitude, you have chosen lives of disempowerment, you have chosen lives of slavery, you have chosen religious lives where you have been indoctrinated into a very rigid way of thinking. And when we have had those past lives, those experiences form the energy that's within our personal blueprint. So then we come down and we've already decided that actually in this lifetime, we're going to do a lot of healing, because we're coming down not only to heal ourselves, we have agreements to do ancestral healing. We have agreements to do collective healing for the collective good. And we have agreements to heal old soul wounds. And the only way we can do that within this lifetime is to create those situations that give us the programming of lack, of I am not good enough, I am not lovable, I am not clever enough, I am not dainty enough, I am not fast enough with my thinking. And what we do is we perpetuate those lower energies into our psyche until they become so second nature that we would rather say what we are not than what we are. But the healing part of this and the part of ascension is when you can stop and say, actually, hold on a second. We are all light beings within a crystalline body. We have all separated from source light, from God, whatever you'd like to call it. I just happen to call it source. We are all fragments of source who simply have chosen to understand the duality of light and dark. And the way we do that is to experience being controlled or us being the controller. So when we have these feelings of not being good enough, I challenge you to really journey within and find out where those have come from, because they are simply programs that can be deconstructed. So when we find out we're not being good enough, it might be that we have been told by our parents that we are not good enough. We are not this. We are not clever enough. We are not lovable. We always think before we speak. We always don't think about other people. And that sits within our resonance. But when you understand that you are a crystalline light being, you are all good. Every aspect of you is bright and shiny and beautiful. You then start coming into your sovereign power. You come into your divine alignment of who you truly are as a beautiful light being. And when you can start seeing who you are, then you can start understanding that when you step away from what I call the programming, when you become what I teach, the compassionate observer of yourself, and you put as much energy into understanding how beautiful and wonderful you are as you do into berating yourself at what you believe you are not, you can then step away and observe the program and not be part of it and in the program, which is the lower density frequencies. Because you absolutely are enough. You are absolutely gifted. You are absolutely compassionate and loving. But you have to understand that about yourself in order to project that through your energy field, so that you hold that light. But you have to love yourself first and be compassionate to yourself first before you can be loving and compassionate to somebody else. And if you've seen one of my other YouTubes, I was given a formula for awakening. And the other video shows you the first part of awakening is love. The second part is compassion. And the third part is forgiveness, and forgiveness of yourself for the way that we have thought about ourselves is the key that unlocks that part of you that feels worthy enough. Because I can tell you, if you are watching this video, you are already on your ascension journey. You are already learning about your nuances. What are the things you need to heal? What are your personal triggers when you poke that bear and someone says, oh, you always speak before you think about what you're saying? It's a form of control. And when we choose to no longer be controlled by others and no longer choose to be controlled by the programs, then we can shift up, we hold more light, we connect to who we truly are, we do our inner shadow work. And don't get me wrong, that is really sometimes very painful. But when we do it, we are rewarded with a peace, with an understanding and acceptance that others' opinions are not important to us. Because not only do we come into this world on our own, we exit this world on our own. And the journey that we experience is our own singular journey. And we can choose to heal all of our traumas from past life, and that's past life on Earth and also past galactic lifetimes, because they play a very important role in what we are also trying to heal. And some people may have predominantly more galactic experiences, less 3D experiences on Earth. Others may have a nice balance. And there are other starlight beings who are coming in who predominantly have mostly galactic lives and not that many 3D lives. But you have chosen to drop into this lifetime because we have free will and we can clear all of our blockages. And when we do that, then we truly come home to who we are. And we find acceptance that actually we are a combination of light and dark. So I hope that's helped. And if you should want any assistance with working through your shadow side, if you have any blockages, energetic blockages or emotional blockages, please have a look, as I say, on my website, which is tinaslade.org. I do energy releasing through my light language, and it is phenomenally powerful. And I also hold the activating key to unlock your light language, should that be appropriate for you on this timeline. So please have a look. If you've got any questions, then message me, email me. You're more than welcome to. And I will do my very best to come back and answer your questions. So I am always grateful that you have been watching. I'm always grateful that I get the information that you need to hear. And I send you love, light, and I hope that this has helped you understand that you are amazing. Thank you.